Today's episode of the Electric Batcast is brought to you by Stern. Insider Connected. Head to sternpinball.com to sign up today. Marco Specialties, everything pinball, pinball parts and more at marcopinball.com. And Game Room Goodies. Check out GameRoomGoodies.com for new and used pinball machines, arcade games, jukeboxes, pool tables, and more. And now, the click and clack of pinball, Rachel Bess and Cale Hernandez. All right, crew, welcome to the Batcast. I don't even know what episode this is. It's like 17 or 18, something like that.
Welcome to the newest episode.
Yeah, it'll be in the description. We have some exciting stuff going on. We have the earnings report, and we have some surprises.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you call it surprises. We just have maybe a new entry or what have you. I don't even know what's going on because I haven't heard yet.
Oh, well, I've got the earnings report here.
Right on. On top of that, we have some fantastic questions from viewers and listeners, because you can do either.
Yeah.
You can do either. Also, what's really cool is we had a tournament last night.
Yes, we did.
And what happened?
We had all kinds of people from all over.
Mm-hmm.
We had Nancy from Georgia. She's rad. We had Chris Clark from California.
Yep.
Bunch of other people. There was lots of people from out of town. We can't name them all.
And you said Nancy.
Yeah.
Nancy Pants.
Nancy Pants.
And she is from Portal. Our good friends over there at Portal, Brian.
Yeah.
Well, that's where she plays.
Yeah, I mean,
that's her home. That's her home turf. Brian.
Yeah, Dalton.
Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fantastic crew out there.
Sunshine's out there. The person.
Yeah, that's right. Sunshine, the person, and Georgia Sunshine too.
Yeah.
You got to have those fantastic Georgia peaches, which require sunshine. Do you know South Carolina is a bigger producer of peaches than Georgia? But Georgia's the peach state.
Yes, and when you told me that, I didn't believe you, but I looked it up.
But then I proved it. I think I just deleted all the notes.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I scared you, didn't I?
Okay, there we go.
No, I legit thought I did.
Oh,
we have an incredible tournament coming up. I'm going to get the details right here. Dog Days of Summer 2. This is Roland's tournament.
Yep, second version.
This is a pitball production at the Electric Bat Arcade. This is July the 21st, 2024.
Yeah, so that's coming up, 11 days from when we're recording this, so people should come and sign up. It does have a limited number of entries because of the style of tournament that he's doing.
64 people, right.
Only 64 people can show up, so show up.
That'll be cool.
Early and often.
And you can get the full details if you go to our Instagram. There's a what's it called when you have a post? Pinned. It has a pinned post. And it goes into great detail in the description of the tournament, the times, the days,
the style, the money, all that stuff.
All that stuff. You can also check it out on the IFPA website.
Yeah.
I'm a little...
You tangled up.
I'm tangled up, but it's okay. I'm going to manage. All right. Yeah. Had my headphone cable a little...
It's all
good thing I have an extra long one, huh? All right, so
okay.
What else are we talking about?
You want to get into the earnings report?
Not quite yet.
Oh, okay.
I want to save that for a little bit.
Okay.
Because this makes good TV.
Oh.
Because that's what everybody wants. If you give them what they want at the beginning, they don't check out the rest.
I see. Why you move the groceries or the pinball machines around the arcade?
You know, if you do something for 10,000 hours, you become an expert. And I've seen at least 10,000 hours of television. That's why I'm a producer. Anyway, any new games coming to the bat? Do we know about anything?
Yeah, are we announcing any? We have a new game coming in a couple of weeks to the bat. Do we talk about it, or is it a secret?
We talk about it.
Okay. Should I say what it is then? Is that how this works?
We hooked our friend Mark P.
Yep.
Also known as Mark Pearson.
Yeah. Not P-Man.
we turned them on to a quite a find.
Yes, this is a beautiful, highly sought after
Gottlieb.
Uh-huh. That right there should be enough to give it away. TX Sector.
We will have a TX Sector at the bat in the tournaments within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Banger soundtrack, super cool pin.
And this was a home use only until it
It's
goes
beautiful.
to the bat. Can you imagine this game?
We've actually seen this thing in person.
Yeah, we saw it, and then it came up for sale, and it was more appropriate at that time for Mark to pick it up. So we said, hey, you grab this. We'll take this game that's been in living rooms for the past, I don't know, 35, 40 years, however old, since the 80s. And let's go. It's going to be at the bat. It's going to be great. Yep. It sounds amazing. It's gonna be a fantastic game.
This is one you want to crank up.
Yeah.
Last time we were in Expo, you, me, Ian, and the Cale, I think it was, we all played a super nice TX Sector that had a upgraded sound system, and man, this is almost a necessity.
It's almost like its own little club.
We might have to talk Mark into doing that.
Yeah.
Cool. So we have that, and any other games coming? Whenever Stern releases something new, that'll come.
Yeah.
And speaking of Stern releasing something new,
that Godzilla?
Man, that Godzilla. Oh. If we didn't have two Godzillas already, I would get this black and white Godzilla. Man.
I wonder what the trade-in, like, what the difference would be if we could trade in our current premium for the black and white.
I'll tell you what,
cash.
I'll talk to Gomez today. We'll see.
I was going to talk to Game Room Goodies about it, but you just go straight to the top.
We go straight to the top.
Hey, why not Gary? Ask him.
Hey, throw us a bone. Hey. And send us that Supreme you have in the box. Yeah, good stuff going on. Anything else? Chewy's tournaments.
Yeah, these are great.
Chewy's been running these very cool tournaments. They're not worth any kind of Whopper points because they're weird little modes, game modes.
The format is not allowable for Whopper points.
One of them, he's going to rotate, so I guess every other month he's going to do a split flipper, which we had a blast doing that, and then team play, where you create a team of 3 players, and then you have to stay in the same order for each match. First player plays the first ball, second player plays the second ball, then you have your anchor that plays the third ball, right?
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, and the strategy of making the right choice of which person on which ball that could make all the difference in your tournament.
Last time Roland was on our team, we talked Roland into it, and we didn't do very good. But he's thinking of a way to reconfigure our team. Where we had him as the anchor last time because we thought he'd clean up our mess, but he's like, no, he needs to set up the game properly.
Yeah, and that's a good idea because once if he can make it so it's not like stressful for us, then we'll play more loosey goosey, which is when you get the points.
That's 100% correct. You've already mentioned Game Room Goodies, sponsor of the show. Yeah. We get all our games from those guys, and you should too. But Stern Insider Connected. Man, these badges, I'm going to tell you right now, operators, if you do not have a John Wick, call whoever, call Game Room Goodies, call whoever, and get one of these things because these limited badges.
The contracts. Yes.
This is the funniest thing. Okay, so first they have one that's still open. I think the first one they released was limited to 2,000 people,
which is a high number,
right? And then after we saw that, we're like, man, they need to make some like super like hyper limited ones. What do they do?
200 people.
The next one was limited to 200 people, and man, were people fighting for this thing. Here's the funniest part. It's the middle of the day when they drop this. The best part is people get a push notification to their phone that says contract available. So it feels like you're a hitman.
Yeah.
You know, you're riding around, you're doing your Uber rides.
Or sorting tokens if you're us.
Yep.
Even hitmen have day jobs.
So we were in the office, sorting tokens, pulling out the quarters, so we can take them to the bank and what have you, or whoever wants quarters, just let us know. We have a ton of them. And then we get this notification. And we both saw it and just jumped out of our chairs.
There was no communication. It was just up and out.
We ran to John Wick and we're trying to get this contract. It was difficult for us.
Yes.
And we didn't get it, but we had a blast trying to get it.
Chewie walks in. He gets the message and sends us a text. I'm on my way. Does it first game.
He does it the first game.
Gets the contract.
And then more and more people start coming into the arcade, and we're like, John Wick, and they're like, yeah. And so, if you're an operator, this is what's going on. This is the future. You have to get a John Wick. It is completely worth it because this is just the beginning, and it just makes sense that they're going to start doing more stuff like this with other games.
Yeah. And I know
it's
that
so much fun.
It can sound to people like we're just hyping it up because, whatever reason.
We are hyping it up.
But we 100% both genuinely feel this is incredibly fun and, lack of a better phrase, game-changing for pinball and operating. We did see the flood of people coming in for that limited contract, and it was really fun to try and get it.
100%. So that's a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to more.
I'm going to get the next one.
So, Stern, give us what we want. Let's go to the mailbag. I know you're itching. You're looking at your what do you call that? A spreadsheet, your Google Docs. You want to get into it, but I have to hold you off. Just like the audience, I have to hold you off. That's what makes me the producer with the most.
You're the showrunner.
I'm the showrunner. We have an email from Pat M.
Okay. Hi, Pat M.
Pat M. We've talked to Pat in the past.
Okay.
And he's given us some great suggestions. He has a couple of questions now. First of all, he loves the podcast. Thank you, Pat M. Thank you for listening. We're doing this for you guys. When a game like, say, Godfather or any other pin stops making money, do you go in and change the rules and make it easier for the player to draw them in more? I have a Godfather CE, love the game, but it can be brutal. I went in and made it more enjoyable. We'll stop there. That's the first question. Do you do that?
No.
You don't?
Well, here's why. Because I put him on enjoyable mode from the get-go, because that's the impression people are going to form of the game. Our games are not set up super difficult. I think they're a nice happy medium of
even though we have these giant tournaments, you still make the games enjoyable.
I want them to be fun to play. I don't want them super steep. I don't want them weird. I wanted like if I had them at our house, this is how they would be set up at home.
Right.
Which that's been our philosophy for all things Electric Bat. So no, I don't change them, but they're also they're set up fun from the beginning. They're not on extra easy mode though.
Right. Oh, and there you go. I think that answered the question.
Yeah. He
has a second question. On average, how many games that are played do you rebuild the flippers by manufacturer? So I think just what he's saying is how many plays before you do a flipper rebuild, per manufacturer. We don't have a formula for this. We have enough, and people have asked us questions like this before, but we're fortunate enough to have a lot of players and knowledgeable players in the arcade every day, and they let us know
if something starts to feel weak or loose, any signs that it needs a rebuild. They're going to let us know. It's not like if we had a game at a far off location, which I guess we do, but we play those games when we go up to Flagstaff, and John Chappell writes the number of plays on coil stops and other parts whenever he's doing
with
rebuilds.
A Sharpie.
Yeah, with a little fine point Sharpie.
Love that.
So he keeps track of that data, just I think more for long-term sake. But we do not do it by number of plays. We do it by, and there's so much variance in parts too. I think our way is better.
Yeah. So we just wait to hear from the customers, right?
And then we do it right away. If someone says, "Hey, this feels weak," we'll go check it out, and if it feels weak, then we change it.
Yeah, boom. There you go. Also, he actually had 3 questions. Because the last one is,
Trick me.
How was the Wizard's Mist?
The best smelling cleaning.
It's awesome.
Best smelling product
but
that we use.
We also immediately got a lot of complaints.
What did you do to this game?
Yeah, we don't use it. So as soon as you turned it on to us, Pat, we've used it a lot.
Yeah.
And because we had a big tournament coming up, and we thought this would be perfect to make the games a little bit harder.
We did put them on Godzilla. We put it on the long players because we knew we needed to have all of the games in the tournament. And so we did make those games a little bit. It made them a little bit faster than what people were used to. But it wasn't crazy. It was
sure.
And it smelled great.
Right.
Love the Wizard's Mist.
So we don't use it as much. You get excitement when you get a new product, right? So we went a little crazy with it, and now we might do it like every once in a while. But it was the ball was a little too unpredictable.
A little too much slide, not enough roll.
Right. But thank you so much, and anybody, it's not expensive. I think any operator should check it out and see what they think and experiment with
Just
it.
spray it in the air.
It does. It smells very good. What does that smell?
Cherry icy.
Cherry icy, man. You can't go wrong with that. Moving right along to Gutter Ghoul. He always leaves questions on Discord. And if you want to join our Discord, just go to, we have like over 300 people in there now.
And we've had that Discord for just a hair over a year. I think the year anniversary just popped up.
I love it. It's fun. People love chatting with us on there. Because it's great. It's not like any other social media. It's really like those message boards you used to be a part of.
BBSs. Yeah. It's a bulletin board service.
We love those. If you want to join the Discord, go to our website, electricbatarcade.com. Click the podcast link, and in there is a Discord link where you can join us.
Just jump right in.
Anybody can join us. It's a lot of fun. And the first question from Gutter Ghoul. For storing pinball machines, are the legs on and ready to play, or is it folded up like it's ready for shipping, like soldiered? We like to call that. So does everybody call it soldiered?
No, because I will often say soldiered, and people will give me a look like they don't know what I'm saying. But we should let people know that that's what soldering means. We're not the only people that use that phrase. But when it's up on its back.
Yeah.
Soldiered.
Okay. Is it stored and ready for shipping? I'm assuming the footprint is smaller, folded up, but means a full setup for moving it out on the floor. But if it's ready to play, it's taking up more space, but less work to rotate and make sure it's playable.
So he's asking how the games are stored in the back whenever we have them in the back?
Yeah. They're on legs.
Always.
They're ready to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if they're in the back.
You can't work on them. Fortunately, we did have to do that for a second, but we were able to move some machines out. But I wouldn't soldier a game unless we knew it was ready to play, and we were just storing it for some reason.
And I would be really hesitant to do that anyway, because you and I don't like the less lifting of games that we have to do, the better.
For sure.
So yeah, we keep them on legs so we can either fix them or play them or just shuffle them in and out in 5 minutes instead of...
Or steal some parts.
That's true. We do sometimes pilfer parts from games in the back.
Good deal. Next question.
Okay, moving right along.
From Gutter Ghoul, riding that admin train, would it make it easier? Is there an export for audits? Can you just get a CSV dump of all the machines and plays earning by date range? Or do you have to navigate menus? Is that high on the list of your insider connected wishes? So this is what you do. This is
what I do. This is an audit question. So he's asking that when we do audits, how do we do it? And would we prefer to just have some sort of exportable file that would automatically go into a spreadsheet, a CSV? I mean, on the one hand, that would be cool to just have the data all right there. But I think there's, and I hear this a lot about a lot of different questions about the focus on efficiency. Like, let's hurry up, get in, get out, get it done. That's the same reason that people want to use swipe cards. One of many, that's... I don't think efficiency is the goal, especially with pinball. Like, we're in there... Like, if I have my hands on a machine, and yes, there is menu diving to get audits out of any machine. If I have my hands on a machine, then that means I'm also looking at other things. I can see, are these rubbers worn? Is there something else? If we got 60-something pinball machines on the floor, this gives me, a minute or so with each machine, more than that I'm looking at everything and can pick up on stuff that, we may need to do to keep that game playing awesome.
Yeah, great point.
So... It's actually not high up on my want list, although...
Right. And there would be no way to do that because, we're dealing with some, like, antiquated machines, and then...
Right. I think he's just saying with the insider games.
I'm guessing something like that is coming.
100% that's coming.
Right.
Yeah. Because we can see number of plays already.
Right.
We just can't see coin drop currently. So... Yeah, I'm sure that's coming, and that'll be cool. But yeah, like I'm never gonna have a CSV shooting out of a big game. I don't think so.
Never say never.
Yeah, but it's not my goal.
Our friend Matt at the arcade, he's actually working on some stuff, which is pretty incredible.
He accidentally reinvented Scorebit.
Right. He didn't even know about Scorebit, and he reinvented it and told us all about it, how he's capturing data from the DMD. And I was like, what? That's Scorebit. And he was like, whoa,
Scorebit?
Cool. Yeah, but he can help us out. He's an amazing programmer, and what a great guy.
There's so many cool people at the arcade just doing awesome stuff, and we find out about it.
Well, like Andrew... wrote a script to where we can see who wins the Insider Connected leaderboard each month.
So I don't have to sit there with writing a 10, 9, 8, 7 across,
it's so
16,
much fun
17
when we
games.
have 20 programmers all playing with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So we have another question from Guttergool.
Okay.
What would you tell... This is excellent because this is a pain, and even locally, some of our friends that run tournaments have they wonder how to do stuff like we do. As far as you run a very efficient tournament, and this kind of rolls into this question. What would you tell new establishments asking for help or best practices on running a pinball tournament? Good blend of classics and moderns, how to set up different game arenas so the long playing games show up at the end of the night rather than the start.
Right after I just said all that stuff about how efficiency isn't the goal, you go into the place where efficiency is the goal.
Boom.
We are fortunate enough by design to have games. We keep our games, the games that we put on the floor for a reason. We have a certain number of faster playing games, a certain number of slower playing games, and we have created game banks that reflect that. So that way you don't have someone playing Strikes and Spares and Godzilla in the same round, because if you have that happening, one game's going to be over in 7 minutes and the other one's going to be 45 minutes.
Right.
So you've got these people just sitting around for 40 minutes, and that doesn't make for an enjoyable tournament experience. And you're there instead of from 6:30 to 9:30, you're there from 6:30 to 11:30. So what I would advise anybody that's able to do, set up so that you have an equivalent number of games that are faster playing and slower playing, and then alternate per round. And some people do this by solid state versus modern. There's different ways of breaking it up, but that's how we do it, and it's worked very, very well. And I think it kind of helps keep us in check. You and I naturally gravitate towards a lot of the classics anyway.
Sure.
But some people that may not, it's a nice way of keeping a good balance that makes sure that there's a lot of great things for everybody. If you have a smaller arcade, if you have maybe 15 games on the floor, this becomes way more difficult. So I don't have any great recommendations for that if you're trying to maximize point value as well as maximize time. I guess this is efficiency, right?
Right.
My recommendation is to get more games.
Yeah, it's hard.
It is.
I mean,
it is hard.
We're the only arcade in Arizona that can do an all classics tournament because of the way I've been with you. Every time you buy a machine for the arcade, will this work out in the tournaments? Mm-hmm. You know, when you're having over 100 people, you have to have fast banks and then mix with these longer playing banks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do that. And then there's a certain number of games on the floor that we realize are just kind of for fun. Mm-hmm. Like Scooby-Doo, we don't put that in the tournament, but it's people like that game, so it's on the, there's only a certain number of slots for games that cannot be in the tournament.
Right. Cool. Let me turn my phone back on because it just turned off. Here we go. Okay. Back to the mailbag. Tuna Delight. Did you put this in here? We have this is from
It's an email. Yeah.
Tuna Delight via email.
Yep, that's correct.
Why are you smiling?
Well, read on.
Okay.
This one's for you, bud.
And I haven't read this yet.
Okay. Well,
all right.
This is...
Okay, so Tuna Delight. I enjoyed listening to your podcast, and I hope to visit the Electric Bat Arcade someday during cooler weather, ideally, though.
Yeah.
It's hot.
Yes, there's no...
What was it, like 117 yesterday?
Yep, I think it's been somewhere between 115 and 120 this whole week. It's not good.
You know, when I was a kid, I remember living in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. That's in Louisiana.
Sure enough, still is.
Yeah. We get a lot of water there. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, I remember watching the news in the mornings, with my mom, and they're talking about Phoenix. And I was just like, 110? Like, how can anybody survive in 110? But there's no humidity.
Right.
It makes a huge difference.
There is humidity. It's like 9.
Right. But, I was living in New Orleans, which is basically a swamp. You know, 110 there, you would die. You're done. You're covered in water. It's crazy. So please do come out here. We've had people come out here in the hotter months. And they
the Waffles tournament.
Yeah, come out here anytime you want.
Hotels are cheap right now.
Oh, yeah, that's the best part. Yeah, the places, all the school kids are gone.
Yeah.
Everything.
We've eliminated all of them.
We've taken them out. So, Tuna Delight, I just watched Jack Danger's and Steve Bowden's very recent gameplay video on YouTube of Barrio's Barbecue Challenge. Is this an ad? And it looks like a lot of fun. What will it take for the Electric Bat to have one to play? I'm sure it would make your top earner list in no time. Hell, I might even be willing to brave AZ's ungodly heat for some bitchin' Barrios action. Thanks and stay cool. Well, if you don't mind braving the heat, there is a Barrios at Danger Zone.
Yeah? Yeah, there's
Danger Zone's a local arcade here.
Run by our friend Jordan.
Yeah. They do have a Barrios. I should ask him how it's earning.
Yes, I would like that information as well.
Yeah. So, Tuna Delight would like to
First and last name.
Would like to know what it would take for us to get a Barrios, what's it called? Barbecue Challenge?
Barrios Barbecue Delight Adventure.
Yeah. What would it take, Rachel?
I'm not getting one. There isn't what would it take. Well, I have floor space for games.
Even if our friend David Fix, even if he called and said,
close personal friend,
and I'm going to send you one.
Friend of the show, David Fix.
Right, because right now I think if an operator wants one, they give you like $400 off, or but you have to pump them up on social media with these weird hashtags. But so even if David Fix called you and said, we're going to send one for free, we just don't have room on the floor because I doubt it's a good tournament game. Because you still can't even, and I think David even says don't use Galactic Tank Force in a tournament because it still loses track of balls.
Yeah, so like what we were just talking about, there's only certain rooms, a certain number of games on the floor that can't be used in tournaments. My suspicion is that Barrio's Barbecue Time is one of those games, and I'm not willing to pull Scooby-Doo off the floor for barbecue game.
Right.
So it just doesn't make sense for us under any circumstances to get this game. I severely doubt it would be a high earner.
I was about to ask, what do you think?
I think it would, the first month, everybody would like to play it a couple of times to experience it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you're going to have any rabid barbecue adventure fans that just come all the time. Although we can ask Jordan. Let's ask him, like, how many people come to your arcade just specifically to play Barry O's?
Right.
And that's the other thing. There's already been one here since before it was launched. Like, Jordan got it before they launched the game.
Right.
And so people have had plenty of time to play it. If they want to play it, there's one there. They can play it. So it's not even like a new and exciting game anymore for us. So, like, there's just not any reason for us to get that game.
Cool. Should we move on?
Yeah. Still, please come visit us. There's lots of other games, but there's also
we'll show you what Danger Zone is.
Yeah,
and then you can go play it over there, and they have a bunch of other cool stuff.
Yeah, they've got some great, cool indie stuff over at Danger Zone. It's worth checking out.
Yeah.
You may want to come in the cooler months.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely, because they don't have AC.
It's in the back of a brewery, so it's hot.
It's a seasonal arcade.
Yeah.
From this next,
I want to keep going on.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to interrupt you.
Oh, sorry. No. Please. Go.
Well, I mean, it's not even just Barbecue Man game. I mean, there's tons of games that people will ask us, you know, why don't you get this? Why don't you, like, it just doesn't make sense for one reason or another, or because you or I don't like it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so our decisions aren't just based on, I guess, a couple people wanting the game or it being new. Like, we don't really care about that. It really is like, this is our home, and we put the games in it that me and you want to play.
Certainly.
And if you want to come into our home and also play them, then we would love to have you.
Yeah. For example, TX Sector. That's not going to earn the money that it cost.
Right.
But we want the game in the arcade. It's a cool game, and the fans, pinball fans who come to the arcade are going to love playing it.
Yeah, but and more importantly, us. We are going to love playing it.
And it's a great tournament game.
Yep.
So, can I go?
Sorry for the interruption.
And another thing.
And one more thing.
Oh, this is from our fantastic friend Erica on Discord. This is from Erica's Pinball Adventure. Is it Pinball Adventure or Pinball Journey?
Erica's Pinball Journey.
Erica's Pinball Journey. We love Erica. We got a chance to hang out with her a lot in Chicago at Expo, and I bet not at Expo, at the Stern thing. The Stern thing we did.
I like Erica.
Yep. Hung out with her all weekend. This is her first question, and she's been a fan of the program for a while. We're a fan of you, Erica.
She a fan of the program or the program?
The program.
Yeah.
Of all the remakes that could be made, what game would you like to see redone? Not a super technical question, but maybe some games of older eras feel easier to fix than others if something goes wrong. Haha. I had a Millionaire at one point and decided the wheel was not for me. A Millionaire, that's the Williams game.
Yeah.
That came out after, I think after F-14.
I remember it has a display that's unique to it, right? Isn't that one of the...
Or did F-14? They shared... It seemed like they shared a display, but it wasn't the same. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've sold those.
Millionaire has some very specific, at least one specific part required.
I love this question because I think we agree on this.
Probably.
And we have wanted this for years. And as far as like remakes go, and I've actually talked to people from the company that could pull it off, and they said things have been lightly discussed and here and there, and they kind of actually did it with the Beatles. But we would love to see Stern re-release some of the classic Stern games. Yeah. Such as Meteor,
Galaxy, Nine Ball, all of those types of stars. And maybe maybe they could do the same thing as with Beatles, do an updated rule set and then have the option to do the original rule set and retheme it. I don't care. It doesn't have to be, I mean, Nine Ball maybe would need that, but Galaxy could be anything.
Yeah.
So that we would. Yes, I agree with you. That would be
so
that would be so
sweet,
cool. I would
right?
love that.
Have a brand new Stargazer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not homemade.
Right, a brand new one
we
from
tried
the
that.
factory. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so those games are actually the easiest to fix of all the games in their original state. So it would be cool if the remake folks, like if they redid Twilight Zone, if they magically made it like easier to,
Right, and
fix.
200 pounds lighter.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess it would be lighter.
I don't know. The weight comes from all the mechs.
Yeah.
I don't think
you can't get rid of those
the smaller
coils and
magnets
and things.
More compact PCBs
Coils.
aren't going to make it much lighter. Cool. So that's what we want.
Classic Stearns.
Classic Stearns. Man, that would be awesome. And I don't know if it makes sense for them. I don't know if they would sell enough, but we would buy probably every one.
Yeah.
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 So let's do it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your question, Eric. I hope you're enjoying the show you're listening to right now.
This specific one.
Okay. So we have one from Chumples.
Chumples?
That's what it says. Chumples via Discord.
Oh, it's either Chumples or what if it's C Humples?
Okay.
Equally.
It might be.
Yeah.
So this is from C Humples on Discord. And if you want to find out what this person's actual name is, join the Discord and then you can chat with them. Good morning and happy Independence Day. This came from Independence Day.
A week ago.
July the 4th. Question for the Bats. How does EM maintenance differ from SS maintenance? Can I use the same wax and cleaner on both? Do I have to be aware of any special things when maintaining an EM so I do not damage it? Any other tips or tricks on maintaining EMs would be greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, Bats, and keep killing it. Thank you so much, Chumples. I have very limited experience with EMs.
I also have limited experience. I've certainly worked on them. I've owned a few, but we do not operate any EMs. Any game that we have that you think might be an EM is the solid state version of that game. We don't want to deal with the extra parts involved. We don't want to deal with the kind of potential for greater fire hazard.
But once you set them up and get them running and don't move them, just
Right.
leave them. And if you keep playing them, they last
stay
forever.
Working. They stay rocking. That's the key with EMs. Get them working great, and then keep playing them. You almost like have to treat it like going to the gym. Like, have you played your EMs today? Make sure that they keep going. As far as cleaning and maintenance goes, different cleaners. You wouldn't want to use any sort of abrasive on EMs, but wax. Use wax. We don't really wax our modern games,
No.
so it wouldn't be the same because we don't use
Right.
them. But it would just be whatever waxes that you do
Right.
use already. I would use that and keep it waxed. For the games that we do wax, like Free Fall, any of the early solid state games.
Right. That don't have like a high gloss, clear coat type finish.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We keep those waxed a lot out here because of our 9% humidity. They get dry so fast.
Yep.
So we get nosebleeds, they get cracks. We got to keep it waxed.
Right. And I heard like the old timers like to use mill wax, but keep in mind that's not a wax. I think that's just like a cleaner. And you can get that stuff from Marco's Specialties. Give it a shot. Yeah, you might like it.
There's a lot of, this is like one of those other cans of worms where you've got a lot of strong opinions on a lot of strong conflicting opinions about what's best for these things. So
Sure.
I would love to have some people who are more into EMs than we are chime in the Discord about this. I'd like to see a discussion. I think Ben Clement, he might have some.
He's an EM guy, huh?
I don't know why I'm thinking that. Maybe just because he's so darn good at classics. I would love to hear more people talk, because I'd like to learn more about it, even though we don't, really.
For sure.
We're not going to operate them, but I'd still love learning.
There you go. Thank you, Chumples, and good luck with your EM adventure.
Chumple's EM Adventure. The next game.
This one This is the question for you. I think this is like an insurance question, or whether you want to have an LLC or something like that. Anyway, I might be getting some stuff mixed up.
So some games. So if there's questions about parties, those are Cale questions. If there's questions about paperwork, those are Rachel questions. This is how I'm seeing the division of labor going here.
We're going back to Megalo17 via Discord. Hey, Bats, long-time listener, first-time caller. East of the Rockies, you're on the air. 2 questions. For an operator with games on location at somebody else's business, is there a certain type of business license recommended? Example, would a sole proprietorship be preferable as it's cheaper and easier to register, or would an LLC be the way to go to limit liability in the event of someone rage tilts, shears the front leg bolts, and becomes a double amputee? That's funny. Megalo's funny.
Yeah.
Seriously, though.
Funny till it happens.
Also, can you discuss the insurance options available to protect pins on location? I'm guessing theft and fire protection is available and advisable. Without giving specifics, maybe touch on the price as a percentage of pin value. Thanks. And can't wait to visit again. We can't wait for you to come back out.
Yeah.
A lot of this stuff... We should have had our we actually have an insurance expert that plays with us. That would be a good question for him. He could get deep into the weeds. But here we are. Okay, you go, because I don't know any of this.
The first question, LLC. I would always do an LLC because especially you're thinking about liability in general. I just think that it's worth the extra. As like my art career, that's all done under a sole proprietorship because there isn't anything. If somebody, there's nothing that's going to happen with a painting that is going to cause me any liability.
Right.
Pinball machines, they're heavy, they're electrical, they have lots of metal and moving parts and glass. LLC. It's not that much harder. Just do it.
Yep. Do the hard work on the front end so you don't get screwed on the back end.
That's a good policy for everything. Almost every city or area is going to have people that can help you for free. Just kind of walk you through it. And there's websites also that can, if you're unfamiliar with how to set up an LLC, it's not hard.
Right.
We've seen people much less smarter than the questioner or anybody, right? Anybody can do this.
Yeah.
Insurance. That is a really hard one for me to answer because we have a lot of different kinds of insurance. Because ours are all wrapped up with the business. So I don't know how to tell you the answer to that, but I would love to have our friend Brandon, the insurance man, give us a better answer for that because he could tell us that it's X percent. I feel like maybe there was like a 6% of, this could be wrong, but I'll correct myself next episode if it's not, something like 6% of the value per year. So if you have $100,000 worth of games, then it'd be like $6,000 in insurance for just property insurance. But again, I'll have Brandon confirm that for me.
Now what about if somebody's putting like a couple of machines at a bar?
Right, and that's what that number was for just the, like, if, let's say that bar burns down. Another thing that I've heard is that you can tack it on, and all of this stuff may vary by location too, right? If you're in a different state,
sure,
that may be different, but you might be able to tack it on to your homeowner's insurance.
I've heard that.
So that's probably the easiest way for someone to, I would look into that first. Call your homeowner's insurance or your renter's, whatever kind of personal insurance you already may have. Call them up and say, this is what I'd like to do. Can you help me? That would be my first step.
I like that.
We'll come back with better answers for that, or
after we talk to Brandon.
Yeah.
We'll let Brandon look at your question, and we're going to revisit it
on
a future Batcast.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to Hugh Jorgen. Why is that funny? This is from Hugh Jorgen on Discord. Hey, Bats. Great last episode. After listening to it, I've got one question. What's it like living my dream? By what I mean, how did you find changing your hobby into your form of income? I'd love to own or run an arcade one day, but worried it may ruin my love for pinball. Doing it all day and every day. Did it change the way you felt about pinball, good or bad? Keep up the great work. If I ever get to the U.S., Electric Bat is definitely on my visit list.
Well, we'd love to see Hugh Jorgen.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll let you take that first.
Wasn't there another question about here about fishing, or did we leave that off?
Yeah, I saw that.
Because that would roll into this.
Mm-hmm. That was part of his question. He said he had a friend that was a fisherman and loved fishing.
Oh, that was part of his question.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then had a job fishing and hated fishing.
Okay. And you remove that. I was excited about that part.
Oh,
because I had the other part of that was Hugh's friend was a fisherman, and then became a professional fisherman by, like, I think taking people out kind of like a charter type thing. Mm-hmm. And now he hates it
and never does it
the fisherman
in his free time.
And this is what Hugh was worried, that if he turns his hobby into a business, as what I think, some of that is just like the nobody wants to hear this. To me, it's like the joy of life type stuff. It's like you have to really enjoy. Yes, that there is some like tedious stuff when you turn your hobby into a business. It's a business, and then it's the business part that people don't like.
Like all the questions that get funneled to me, right? All of the
right.
The audits, the insurance,
paying taxes,
all of the anything,
dealing with restrictions from whatever city you're involved in.
The bureaucratic part of any business.
Right.
At least in this region.
That's no fun, but that's the business side of it. And I don't man, you're either going to like that or not like it. I don't know, but as far as like the story with the fisherman, there may be some things that we don't know. Like he really enjoyed fishing, but then when he turned it into a business and started taking people out on fishing adventures, he may just not like people.
Yeah.
Because there's some people you don't want to hang out, but then when they give you enough money to make you, you have to take them fishing.
To show them where the bass are.
Show them where the bass are, and then you don't catch any fish, and then they get pissed off and probably want a refund, right? Oh. There's all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
The customer service stuff might not be great. I enjoy dealing with people, even difficult people. I enjoy dealing with all types of people.
I enjoy some types of spreadsheets, right? Like, I don't enjoy other types of, yes. So, but me and you both very much love what we do, and we have always loved whatever jobs we have had, or we wouldn't do them. Because
Correct.
Me and you both prioritize enjoyment over financial success or anything else. Like, the most valuable thing that you have is your time and your pleasure, friends, family, fun, all that sort of stuff, right? So
sure,
we wouldn't, you wouldn't be asking us this question right now if we didn't still love it, because we wouldn't be still doing it.
Right.
And we've always said, as soon as it stops being fun, we'll find something fun to do.
I have always loved everything I've done. And even if it's been like, years and years ago, I was a bouncer at a bar, and then I would do a shift of work at a FedEx warehouse, and I loved all of it. I make what I'm doing just it in your head. You have to enjoy doing things. This is all part of, you have to have some income, and sometimes you have to do some crazy stuff, but always just like I turn things around in my head to make everything enjoyable. Because why not? Right? Because I've worked with those people who just sit down at their desks and they're like immediately pissed off.
You're wired in a very special way.
The answer is we're weird. We are super weird, and most people aren't like us, so good luck.
But I think Hugh Jorgen would continue to enjoy pinball. But again, like, I want to hear from some people that maybe, I guess they wouldn't be listening if they didn't still enjoy it. But I'd like to hear, like, hey, I started this whole pinball business, and man, I sure hate it now, right?
Yeah,
like, I don't think you're going to find too many of those people.
And that's a really good point, because we talk to a lot of people who own arcades and a lot of people who also just operate. And the only complaints I've heard from any of our friends who are in the business are, and this is rare, but there have been a couple, like, I don't like the person I've partnered up with.
Yes, we have heard that. And
I think it's important to have good partners, because to spread the workload, and it's important to partner up with people you enjoy working with, you enjoy hanging out with, because now this is, basically your family.
You're going to be seeing a lot of them.
You're going to be seeing a lot of them. But that seems to be the only complaint I've heard from a couple of people who have started arcades. I don't like the person I partnered up with, but it's never been like, I don't like this thing.
Yeah.
This fixing machines, keeping them clean, and playing games with the people. It seems to be always like a business.
So make good decisions
function.
Going into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you for the question.
We've always said that too, about if you're putting games in a location, make sure that the person who owns that location really likes and values you individually, not just the idea of you potentially bringing them more money, because that relationship is going to be very important on down the road, and it can make or break. Like, oh God, I got to go drive over to, Pete's Pizza Palace. He's not as cool as Cale at Cale's Pizza Palace.
Yeah.
And man, I just, like, you kind of dread going there because you got to see Pete and those angry pepperoni men.
The pepperoni men are the people that apply the pepperonis, right?
Yeah.
How do they get the pepperonis that become the grease cup? How do they do that? It's like a little. It's concave, and is that a special pepperoni?
You're gonna have to ask Pete's Pepperoni.
I tell you what, if there are any pizza people out there, write in. We want to know about pepperonis, and how do you get the ones that turn into the little cups? Because they're crispy around the edge, and then have the little
has to do with shrinkage.
pool of grease.
Shrinkage, around the outside, the shrinkage is greater than the inside.
Thank you. That was Hugh Jorgen, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for your questions. Now, this is the segment everybody has been waiting for. They've been sitting there. They've been on a road trip. They may be watching us on YouTube. They want to hear about the latest earnings reports and the surprises. And I know nothing about this, so it's all a surprise to me. You've run around the arcade. You've done the audits. I think you have something special for the viewers and listeners. You have the traditional earnings report
across the arcade,
and most importantly, the top 10.
Top 10.
But some other details sprinkled in. And then you have. Did you do a top 10 of classic games?
I did top 5.
Top 5. That's fine.
Yeah.
You went above and beyond.
We had a request. People wanted to know, because classics are almost never going to make it into the top 10 because they cost less to play. But people want to hear. People want to know which classics are the classics people play. Do you want to start with the classics then?
Let's go with the classics, because this will be interesting. So this is the top 5 classics. Are we starting at 5 and then working our way up to the top spot?
Yes.
I like doing that.
Okay, that's what we'll do then.
Let's go.
All right, so 5, 4, and 3 are all within very small, within 1%.
Okay.
Within 2%. So the virtual tie for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 5th is Big Game.
Ooh, Stern.
Classic Stern.
Love it. Who did that? Harry Williams?
Oh, I don't.
I think he did.
Did he?
I think so. I think he did that. I think it came out around the same time as what's that one we have? Free Fall.
Okay.
I think so, but
people will let us know if we're wrong.
People write in. Oh, they'll let you know if you're wrong. Well, they love doing that.
You will find out. Number 4, hot dogging.
Man, hot dogging is one of my. I blew that thing up in the tournament last night. Yeah. I almost rolled it. I had 980 something.
Man, you were so just a couple more drop targets, you would have rolled that thing.
Man, what a! I love that game.
It is a fun game, and right now, our game it's the
supercharged.
Yeah, it's the whirlwind complement. So you feel like you're going down the slopes. We've got a gigantic fan on top of it.
Right. Well,
it's a very stable game.
It's a small, compact fan, like one of those
high powered.
What is it? Yeah, I don't know what you call that fan. The blades are like it's a cylinder inside, and it's like one of those floor fans.
They're the kind that people use like when you've had a flood in your house. The professionals come in with these to like dry out your carpets and stuff. So we have one of those mounted to the top of our hot dogging.
So it's like you're actually on the slopes.
Yeah, feels like you're going down the slopes.
Yep.
You're hot dogging.
Cool.
Number 3, strikes and or spares.
That you have a beautiful version of that game, and I can see why it's in that spot.
Yeah, I love that game. Number 2, Dolly.
Dolly. People love Dolly, the person and the game.
Yes. So there was a pretty good sized jump between 3 and 2 and 1 are fairly close together, but they're definitely in their own bracket. So Dolly, I was not surprised to see. I figured it would be number 2 or number 1.
Okay.
That's where it is. And number 1.
Drum roll.
8-ball.
Man, you've told me before you were blown away by how much this game earns. Why do people like 8-ball?
I don't know.
It's got that brutal left out lane that you have to.
So this is I think that's why it has that. I know if I just play it one more time, I will surely do better. It's on 5-ball.
That's a good point. There's some psychology involved.
There's a lot of psychology.
So it's on 5-ball. How much does it cost?
50 cents.
Man, that's a deal. 50
Yeah.
cents for 5 plays.
And to give you an idea of games that 8-ball has earned more than, I mean, this month it earned more than Twilight Zone.
You're kidding me.
So for people, to give a frame of reference, it earned more than Walking Dead. It earned more than T2, Congos. I mean, it earned more than games that you would think
certainly
would likely be better earners. So
what a pleasant surprise.
People like the classics. Don't underestimate the value of classics in your lineup.
Good
also,
deal.
I mean, you think about the ROI on those games.
Right.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, thank you for doing that work. And I think we're going to move on to the championship.
The championship round?
Earnings report.
Okay.
This is the top 10 games from July?
This is, no, June.
June, I'm sorry.
These are June games.
We're in July now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get confused.
And time machines.
Yeah.
So we had an actual tie for number 10 and 9.
Okay.
Down to the 25 cents. Elvira House of Horrors and Batman 66 earned the exact same amount.
Very cool.
Yes, so that was... There you go. There's
both
10 and 9.
Both great games.
Number 8, Looney Tunes.
Wow.
So Looney Tunes... This speaks to theme, I think, a lot. We see a lot of casuals going to go play it. It has some very weird software issues that I hope are resolved soon. We've talked about it before.
If anybody is close to Spooky, or if the Spooky guys are listening, like, get in touch with us. I want to know what's going on, because we're on our what seems to be like, I don't know if it's power, if it's programming, but like we're on our, what is it, like 5th board on Scooby-Doo?
I think it's the 4th or 5th warden board on Scooby-Doo.
And then there's little weird things on Looney Tunes where just random flippers just stop working until you
power cycle it.
Power cycle it.
Then they work fine.
Now, for some context, there probably aren't too many machines in the world that are on as much as ours. Our machines are on from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m.
And a little bit longer than that
because the staff plays.
Yeah,
so it's a little bit longer.
21 hours a day.
And maybe that's it. Maybe there's some RAM dumps and then decides to just not have a flipper working. But if anybody knows or has some insight, I would love to know. There's some kind of programming / power issues, power distribution issues with spooky games, and it sucks because they're
cool,
but they're getting better, and the game, like Looney Tunes, is like fun,
and the sounds and the call outs are just primo.
But this game, Looney Tunes would be making so much more money if it worked reliably,
right? Because I have not accounted for refunds in these figures. And I know that there have been, if we're not around, the bartenders are giving refunds. And pro tip, I guess, if you want to come to the bat specifically to play Looney Tunes, power cycle it before you start playing.
Sure.
And then
we don't mind.
Yeah, go for it. You'll get a fresh go at it, and you will likely not run into those weird issues. Number 7, Venom.
I like this game.
And it was Game of the Month last month.
You saw me get into the little mini wizard mode.
Yeah.
And, man, that was so cool.
Yeah.
And I like, I gave you a little tip.
Yeah.
You could during the tournament.
Yeah.
And you won your round.
Yeah. I was like, how do I do this? And then you told me.
Yeah.
So for the listeners, some great advice. Okay. And number 6, not a pinball machine. It's the Aliens shooter.
Do you always have that in there, or is this a new thing where you're adding that?
I think sometimes I've skipped over it.
I think it's good to tell people
context.
what's up. Yeah.
I think the Aliens shooter. I think a shooter will probably always be in the top 10.
Yes,
somewhere in there. People like shooters,
and we're about to add another one.
Yeah,
we're gonna add a big
bug hunter.
Big buck hunter that also has the Walking Dead
all
game
the zombie
in there.
stuff. Yeah,
cool. We'll see how that does.
Yeah,
but people. I mean, if people, longtime listeners of the show, we've always talked about how
get a shooter, something simple. Casuals know how to point a gun at a screen, and they're always moneymakers, and they keep people around. Yeah.
And then if they stay around, they see people having fun playing pinball machines and logging in with Stern Insider Connected. That has a little ding you always hear.
Then eventually they'll get the courage to maybe drop the 50 cents or $1
like, what
to
are
a
people
pinball
doing?
machine. Yeah. Why is this so great? Oh, now I see. And then they're hooked. Number 5, Stranger Things.
Ooh,
classic.
Yep, love that. We have the premium with if you have that game. Whether it's the pro or the premium, you have to get the UV kit.
Yes.
Man, that is a game changer.
It's beautiful.
And it's not too expensive. It's a few $100 or something.
Not hard to put in. Stranger Things made an over 50% jump in earnings last month, and I have no idea why. It's in the same spot. There was nothing special about anything. Usually whenever that happens, I think what's happening is that there's a couple of people that are getting... A handful of people are getting hooked on it and coming in every day and dumping like $10 into it or something, and then it's weird when that happens. Number 4, Jaws.
Jaws, good. I was playing a lot of Jaws after the tournament, and really, Ty was actually teaching me some tips. Kind of learning that game.
Well, you'll have to teach them to me later. So 4, 3, and 2, just so you know, are essential ties as well. So these are all within a few dollars of each other.
Speaking of Ty, he is hooked on the Jaws badges.
Oh.
All of the Jaws badges. He's been messaging Stern on Facebook saying, I need more badges. He's been sending them like screen grabs.
Of his completed.
Yeah, I'm done with all these. I need some more.
More, please. Please.
Yeah. People love this stuff.
Okay. Number 3, Godzilla.
Man, Godzilla, it's always at least in the top 5, right? Maybe top 3.
I think it's always in the top 3. I don't know that I've seen it out of the top 3. And this was what you were wanting to see. Number 2, for the first time, is Pulp Fiction.
Wow, because Pulp Fiction has been the king for the past 3 months?
At least 3, yeah.
Whenever we
since it's been
got
on the
it.
floor.
Since we've gotten it. No game has been able to dethrone it
Until
this month, or last month. John Wick.
He hadn't seen it, but he knew that you could tell because we were both waiting to see what's going to happen this month. Is it going to be Wick or is it going to be Pulp Fiction? And
Right.
I will tell you that Wick got 50% more than Pulp Fiction.
Absolutely stunning.
Huge. So for all of the people saying crazy shit about John Wick is an amazing game. People like it.
Yes.
I like it
and there's
a lot.
Tons of more software to come out for this thing. A lot more updates. This game, as is, people cannot stop playing this thing.
Yeah, it's got that same. It's got that. I want to say like a Steve Ritchie feel, where it's like it's fast. It makes you want to play it again. You know, I don't mean that in terms of like the shots, but just like it has that kind of adrenaline feel. And I think that is always a great pairing with pinball. It makes people want to play it over and over again. I like the aesthetic of it and the theme of it. Not necessarily like John Wick, the character, but I like sort of seedy underworld themes. I feel like that's kind of my wheelhouse.
Right.
And, yeah, aesthetically, shot-wise, there's some cool, all the stuff about having enemies blocking shots, so you have to hit shots to be able to get rid of... It's like having virtual drop targets, right? Like you're having to clear something to be able to get to that shot and have value. I think it is an amazing game, and I'm thrilled that other people do too.
Yeah. Good job. Tim and Elliot.
Yeah.
Crushing it.
Yeah.
Crushing it. Can't wait to see what else those guys are. They're probably working on something right now.
Yeah. Well, probably John Wick.
They can't tell us about.
But, yeah.
But
let's call him and see.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, man. That is so exciting. John Wick's crushing it, and it's only going to get better. And what's interesting is this data is from before they did the limited contracts.
Yes.
Which has brought a lot more people in and causes people to park on the game to try to secure these contracts.
I should say that one of the reasons that you and I did not get the limited contract, that just the one limited to 200, was because we did not we got off the game so other people could play it, right?
Certainly.
So at a certain point it was like, well, we can't even really try for this because there are people in line.
We want
to play it.
The fans to have fun.
Yeah, the other fans.
Yeah, we're the fans too. Yeah. We're the big fans.
So, yeah.
Cool. Thank you so much for that. I'm sure everybody enjoyed all that data.
I know I did.
And don't forget, July 21st, Dog Days of Summer 2. It's going to be an absolute amazing tournament. If you want all the details on that, head to our Instagram. It's the first post. It's a pinned post, or you can go to the IFPA website to get all the details on that. Do you have any other events you want to mention?
I want people to keep coming to Tuesday nights. That's the fun one. I don't have any extra events.
Right, cool. Thank you so much for the sponsorship, Stern Insider Connected, Marco Specialties, and Game Room Goodies. We stand by all of these folks' products, and we used them before. They were even a partner with us, and we love these guys. We're not going to turn you on to any products that we don't use daily and trust.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we're going to head to the arcade and try to get some more badges.
Yeah.
You like that?
Yes. It's our day off, so we go to the arcade, and
right.
John Chopla's there fixing games, and then we get to play them.
We love to hang out with John.
Yeah.
John said he was going to come on to be... You remember there was a person on TikTok that said they wish that there was more pushback on stuff we said. John said he would take that role.
Okay.
We could bring him in here, put a little headset on, and I think people would enjoy that.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah, I know you would. I know you would. Okay, everybody, keep on flipping. We're going to head to the arcade. Hope you enjoyed the show. We have a bunch more stuff coming up in the future. Send in your questions to electricbatarcade@gmail.com.
That'll get there.
Or join the Discord. Or DM us on Instagram.
Or just show up. Ask us in person.
Yeah. We like the IRL questions.
You can just hand us a Post-it note with a question.
That's right. Right on. Well, let's get out of here. Let's go brave that Phoenix sunshine.
It's 111 right now.
Well, it's a good time to take off.
Yeah, okay.
All right, the bats are out.
Bats out.
Hope you guys have a fantastic day. We'll see you next time.